Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing on Talk 910. I'm your host, Edward Brown, and I'm proud to have as my co-host Mark Hahn of Pacific Private Money, California's fastest-growing mortgage investment firm, and Kathryn Harris, CPA of Parati and Karad. And I'm glad Kathryn is with us because she had to take the month of March off because of tax season. So welcome back.
Thank you. I'm going to be a little, I'm still recovering.
You're still recovering.
It takes about 3 weeks. It's about a 2.5 month season and 3 weeks back.
Yeah, most CPAs I know take like a month sabbatical after the 15th.
If only.
Yeah.
I got a whole whopping too. I got to condense it.
Yeah. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. You're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for 3 vacations during each commercial break. The vacations are not sponsored by the radio station, but by Lighthouse Resort and Marina, which is located 1 hour northeast of San Francisco. And I've had this nasty cold for, 10 days now, so excuse me while I try to work through this. The vacations are free. Their only request is a $75 cleaning fee to cover the housekeeping expenses. Today's trivia theme is, what comes next? You got to put your thinking cap on for this because it's some math stuff.
Oh,
Isn't it fun? Okay. Our website is bestofinvesting.com. Check us out on television, Comcast Channel 26 and AT&T Channel 99. Saturdays at noon, Sundays at 6 p.m. Kathryn, take it away.
Well, since it's after tax season, I always like to take the opportunity and provide some horror stories and some warnings from the last 2 months of my life. And it's not necessarily my horror stories, but those stories that came from my clients. So this is the discussion focused on small business owners and due diligence that you need to take.
Okay.
Even if you're a small business and you think you can trust your bookkeeper, do not always trust the bookkeeper.
Please don't tell me another embezzlement story.
They always are. I love them. My favorite conference to go to is the fraud conference.
Turned out well.
Okay. Well, you kind of have to be that way to be a CPA, right? You
Yeah,
kind of
that's
have to tilt to the left or the right a little bit. And it's the same story. This one, we had 2 clients. Both, oddly enough, it was the abuse of the company credit card. And they were charging personal items, personal services to the company credit card. And with a blind eye, they would be submitting their employee reimbursements to the company, and they were happily being approved. And for both companies, same outcome, different amounts. One, for both of them, the bookkeepers were, the accountants, there was somebody else doing it, and the administrative staff was entering in credit card charges. It's like, wow, this person's using a lot of hotels locally. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, yes, we travel a lot, but
Sure.
shouldn't be going to the same marks. Brought it up to the attention to the executives. Took 3 months for them to finally take a course of action, and during that 3-month time, they did not take away the company credit card, and it rang up more than $50,000 in charges.
Oh, just in a 3-month
In
period?
a 3-month period.
What was it before?
That's where the first month was maybe a couple of $1,000s. So between the time they found it and kind of said, okay, what should we do? Let's think about it.
Wow. Do you think she was on to it?
I think they were, and they're like, all right, let's go crazy.
Oh my God! And then realized I'm probably going to get fired
Yes.
pretty soon.
So let's.
Oh my God.
And what happened? More of my warning to clients is make sure you take action. Oftentimes, our clients are afraid to take legal action or report it.
Well, now here I've got a question for you, because if it's a company, we're playing attorney here, but with a company approved credit card, it seems like all they can probably do is fire her for being inappropriate. But unless she is stealing per se, you know what I mean, like ordering something from the company,
Right, can you get thrown in jail for it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can go very far with it.
Yeah.
But what it is if you don't report it, the person goes scot-free,
Yeah.
and they're on to the next
That's
business. And you're doing a disservice to your other businessmen by not reporting it or doing at least some course of action. One, I love it. I love the IRS. Don't forget to report on your tax return fraudulent income.
Income, yeah.
I
exactly.
love it. And it says any kind of income, whether it's from illegal activities or from fraud, you still got to pay your taxes on it.
Well, now going to a hotel, it probably was, I don't know if they how they can claim it as income, but if they're ordering jewelry and stuff.
Well,
yeah.
it was personal. It was you're being
That's
compensated.
true.
It was personal
That's right.
use.
Yeah, very
It
good.
wasn't-
That's a good
and
point.
You have it was a benefit.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
a
a
very
personal
good
use
point.
benefit
That's
that
right.
is a taxable benefit. You could argue it that way.
Did they turn them into the IRS?
In one instance, they reported they give them a 1099. They did.
Wow, that's great. Of course, the
So-
IRS would say, so how come
yeah.
you didn't withhold taxes on it?
Well,
Yeah.
I think they give it as a 1099. They couldn't go for
Yeah,
32.
yeah.
But hey, it's just it's kind of a word to the wise. And we've had it with a lot of clients, the diverting of cash receipts, the adding of a fraudulent employee. So even as a small business owner, I warn you, look at your bank accounts.
Yeah.
You may not know financial statements. You may not be able to say, I don't understand the balance sheet. I don't get it. But you know how much cash you thought you should have had.
Yeah.
You know how much revenue you thought you brought in this month.
You
You
would hope
kind of
so,
have
yeah.
a sense of what everyone gets paid.
Same thing with the credit card
Exactly.
charges. Well, here, it's funny because I've got a list of tax deductions denied. A man owned a furniture store which wasn't doing very well. After several unsuccessful attempts to sell the store, he finally paid an arsonist $10,000 to torch the building. Of course, you probably could have found a good arsonist to do it for free. But it says here, and let's see.
How do you advertise for
Yeah,
such
yeah,
services?
exactly. So he torches the building and he collected several $100,000 in insurance proceeds. Whether he either got greedy or had a case of brain lock, he deducted the $10,000 payment as a consulting fee. When the IRS got wind of this, both the taxpayer and the arsonist were sent to jail.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the other thing. If you're going to torch the building, no, of course, we're not advocating that.
Hey, so speaking of April 15th, don't you have like, or I should ask the question, what percentage do you think of your clients extend? Because I always do, and most people I talk to seem to. But I guess for CPAs, I mean, there's just such a crunch time. I guess for people who actually want to file and get it over with.
There's some people who have this very strong mental lock on it. I must file by
Yeah,
April 15th.
or I'm going to get audited.
Yes, I have people who are going to be audited. I don't have my receipts for my postage. I was like, go ahead.
Postage.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but if you have like multiple entities, and a lot of the people, like I deal with high net worth clients at Pacific Private Money, and we launched our fund 2 years ago, and I was surprised at how many of the fund members were frantically emailing and calling me saying, where's my K1? Where's my K1? And we intended to file it, I think by March 15th was our deadline, but some folks wanted it even sooner than that, especially the ones who invested through their corporation. But, the point being, without getting, totally esoteric and out there, is, if you have different or multiple business interests, and they're all different entities or LLCs, or you're a real estate investor with multiple LLCs, the ability to get all of those entities filed, which you have to file them first, because usually those all impact your personal 1040. So like for myself, I've got about 5 different entities that all feed into my 1040, and there's just, even April 15th, that's just, I would feel like I'd have to drop everything on January 1st just to be able to get all that accounting in order by
April 15th. Yeah, I'm gonna say there's about 10 to 20% of our clients do have to extend. For various
that's
purposes.
a low.
That's pretty low.
That's
It is.
pretty low,
It's,
You'd like it to be higher, wouldn't you?
Yes. Yes and no. We have the variety of clients that we have. We have clients who all they have is a W-2 and they own a home, but they like to have their hand held. They're so, and that's perfectly fine. That we're happy to service them. And there's other clients who, exactly like you said, Mark, who they have just, it's impossible. And why stress yourself out? What we do is get at least enough so we can make estimates, so you can make an estimate by April 15th. We put you on extension and make you happy.
Estimate? What's that?
Yeah.
I just get a huge bill. I know I have until October 15th to figure out how I'm going to pay it, and then I save up for 6 months to pay it.
Big penalty, whatever. Okay. We're going to cut to our first commercial break here. Now, if you remember last week, we had a special trivia contest where the winner won an overnight stay at the Oceano Hotel and Spa in Half Moon Bay. So let me read that little promotion here for you. Leave the stress of the city behind. You don't even have to leave the Bay Area and escape to the Oceano Hotel and Spa. Get into the zen part of this. Beautiful Half Moon Bay Harbor is within reach. Gorgeous sunsets, local seafood, and fun adventures. They have a 12,000 square foot indoor and outdoor event space, and it's the premier destination for meetings and special events. For more information about Oceano Hotel in Half Moon Bay, or to book your stay, call 650-726-5400 or visit www.oceanohalfmoonbay.com. So here was the question and the answer. More than 25,000 people are injured each year by this household item. Which item? And it's not an egg beater. It was a refrigerator.
Oh.
I don't know if it falls on you or what, but our winner was Angela from Santa Clara. She must have been injured by a refrigerator. Okay, so here's our regular trivia contest, where again the theme is, what is the theme? The theme is what comes next. Ready? I'm going to give you numbers, and you got to tell me what number comes next. 1, 8, 5, 12, 9, 16, 13, 20, X.
I
Can we
always
go
write
through that
those
one more
numbers
You're
time?
going to cause people
Hold
to drive
I
off
know.
the road.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're listening at home if you're going to play this contest.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is a little bit of a tougher one. Okay, so again, you got to tell me what number is X. All right, 1, 8, 5, 12, 9, 16, 13, 20, and X. All right, the first 3 callers, if we even get them on this one, win with the correct answer, win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing. Again, you call 888-912-1190. Yeah, I figured I had to make some kind of fun and hard.
I was
Because I know
expecting
Mark
like 5
loves
numbers
working
if you
it.
kept
I know
on
Mark
going. I'm
loves
like,
working his
"Whoa."
brain. Yeah. And the answer is hike.
That's right.
Our home prices are going up. That's what I have to do.
I've got 3 articles that are just different than the normal articles. So,
Sure, still.
or the normal statistics you typically hear, which are the boring statistics, like home prices are up, 9% year over year, and volume, is it, unit sales are, up or down 1%, and inventory's tight, and days on market.
Unit sale. What is a unit?
Home sales. Well, I guess they say units because it could be a condo, it could be a single family. All right.
Can I go through a couple of these?
I was going, yes.
Sure, because they're kind of fun. Then we'll turn over to you more. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome back to The Best of Investing. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark Hahn of Pacific Private Money and Kathryn Harris, CPA of Karate and Karad. We got to the first commercial break. We asked this tough trivia question about what comes next. These numbers: 1, 8, 5, 12, 9, 16, 13, 20, and then X. What's X?
You know, like
27?
20, no, 17.
17. That's right. Add 7, subtract 3. Very good. See? You knew that.
I didn't write the numbers down. I wasn't really
It's
thinking.
because you didn't take off your shoes and socks. You need to count with those. Okay. I'm going to just cover a couple more of these tax deductions here. I thought they were kind of fun. I had to wait for you to come on the show, Kathryn.
I appreciate
being
you.
a CPA. The cost of a daughter's wedding claimed as a business expense, including a few business associates on the guest list and attempting to deduct the whole thing as a business entertainment didn't fly with the IRS. And probably because it knew that these guests were really attending the wedding just to be polite. That was kind of fun. A wife's mink coat. Even though the taxpayer argued that the coat was worn to dinners with business clients, the IRS denied that the coat was a business expense. That was kind of obvious.
The scary part of these is that only a very small percentage of tax returns ever get audited. So
That's
you
true.
know that people are deducting just crazy, crazy stuff and getting away with it because they're not getting audited. So these are the poor folks who
You have to take one for the team. He's like,
yeah,
when you drive
probably
by
their friends and neighbors will say, "Oh, I deducted this, that, and the other thing off my taxes." Really? Okay, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, or I'm going to turn you in.
Yeah.
That's usually exactly who that
That's
is.
it. The cost of a tattoo is not a medical expense. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into that one. They denied the cost of the deduction of cost Let me try this again. The IRS denied the deduction of the cost of a hitman to get rid of the taxpayer's cheating spouse.
Oh my God.
That's a good one. And let's see, the business expense for a speeding ticket.
But I love how they're like, for the hitman, it's like, they justify, like, oh, but I shouldn't have to pay tax on that.
Yeah, exactly. I get the deduction.
Please murder my wife, but I should leave something.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he did that when he was already in jail and figured since he had to file his tax returns anyway.
Maybe it could be. Trying to save some money on it. Okay, now 3 deductions that were kind of interesting here. A swimming pool. Because a doctor said it was medically necessary, the taxpayer was able to deduct the cost of the swimming pool along with its maintenance. Now, obviously subject to 7.5% of adjusted gross income, but still, that's pretty cool. Breast enlargements. This one was pretty difficult to deduct, but in this case, the tax performer was a stripper under the name Chesty Love. The court agreed, that the taxpayer could deduct the cost as a business expense, because that was her business.
There you go. You have to kind of throw it at the wall, and you never know what's going to stick.
You never know what's a stick. That's one I thought was interesting too. Clarinet lessons. The couple's son was suffering from an overbite. The doctor recommended that the son take up clarinet lessons as a way to alleviate some of the pain, and a medical deduction was allowed. I'm surprised at that one.
Wow, interesting.
Okay, Mark, take it away.
So how about some real estate news? Now we had all that fun accounting stuff. And so I actually found some articles that weren't the usual old boring, real estate's up and real estate's down, and unit sales are up and unit sales are down. So
we vote for Taft.
So, in case we needed more evidence that the Bay Area real estate market is just insanely favorable to sellers, there was a Trulia study announced in the last couple of weeks that of the top 10 major cities in or the top 10 major cities in the U.S. that have the fastest selling homes, 8 of those 10 are in California. Go figure.
You would think, especially with California, they talked about how recently there's been a huge influx out of the state because of the.
Yeah, you keep hearing about that, and yet, but the money keeps coming in. So of course, number 1 was San Francisco, number 2 was San Jose, and number 3 was Oakland, of the top 3 cities that have the fastest moving housing market. So I found it interesting on how they gauged it. What they said was they're using a percentage of homes that are still on the market after 2 months. So in other words, if they're the percentage of homes that are 60 days or more on market, well, in San Francisco, it's 26%, whereas the number 10 city in the top 10 was at 45%. So you would think that a lot of the rest of America has a larger percentage of homes sitting on the market after 2 months, whereas around here, with the lack of inventory.
Does it provide what is the average for the nation?
No, it does not.
But yeah, exactly.
It's not on there,
at least
but
more than 50%.
But you got to figure those 26% of homes that are still on the market in San Francisco after 60 days. And I know which ones those are. Those are the ones you see in the glossy magazines with multi-page spreads and glossy pictures and the big smiling photo of the rich-looking real estate agent who's trying to sell it.
Yes.
For $25 million.
Right, for 25. Right,
They can't go
the
back.
$10 million home that they're trying to sell for $25 million because they just figure there's sick money out there and someone's bound to borrow it. So, in that same vein, there was an article in the Chronicle recently how a dilapidated Marin County cottage sells for $70,000 over asking.
And it was probably asking a lot.
Well, it was, and so it was known in Larkspur as the honeymoon cottage. It was older than 110 years old, and it was uninhabitable. The porch leans to the left. The front stairs are unusable. The entire house has to be moved onto a foundation, which doesn't exist. And the property's historic status means that a full demolition is not possible. So, all of 876 square feet, the proud owners bid $70,000 over the $355,000 asking price. So you might say, well, they bought it for the land, but it's not for the land if it's a historic structure.
But how much of the historic part do you have to leave?
Probably a lot of it.
Really, a lot of it.
Yeah. So they spent $425,000, which actually sounds like a steal when you consider that the median home price in Larkspur is over $1.4 million. problem is that this honeymoon cottage is, it ends the.
Maybe
the
it's on a
article.
nice piece of property where they can add a second house right behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's got a large lot.
So the article ends with a sentence. It seems that this honeymoon cottage will be a labor of love for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then my third and final article, which I found interesting. You may have seen this in the Wall Street Journal. I don't know why anybody spent any amount of time, and I hope the government didn't fund this study, but how much is the United States worth? Economists values the land alone at $23 trillion.
That's all.
Now, what's our deficit? Okay, could we just sell this? Let's sell the country real quick.
Well, of course, California came in first. Where's California here? With
We're at this.
with
3 trillion.
yeah, with
No,
I think
I'd
it
say
was
almost like 20.
okay.
Yeah.
Come on, let's toot our own.
4 trillion, California alone. Now get
I'm
this.
not too surprised it's not.
This is not the value of all the improved real estate. It's
Oh,
just the land. So that's why they thought this exercise was kind of odd, that they just estimated the value of the land, not including the improvements on the lands. This is
That
barely.
doesn't really.
That is just
That's
an odd.
worthless information.
It is kind of worthless, but anyway, the
I can do studies like that.
California land is said to be worth $4 trillion. And a couple of interesting facts: the federal government owns 24% of all the land in the United States, collectively worth close to $2 trillion by this study.
See, they could sell that to people who just want to own land. And
Right, and only 5.8% of the U.S. Of land in the United States is developed, but that land accounts for 50% of the total $23 trillion.
see, that's what people say. Overcrowding and stuff. Yeah, maybe certain areas, certain streets are overcrowded, but the United States is not. You go to Kansas, there's a lot of places you
Oh
can go.
my gosh! I mean,
for
Marin
miles.
County is. I think the statistic is we're at either 50% of the land is occupied by structures. It's a very conservative. It's surprising.
Yeah. You want to know what the real answer is? It's actually 10% of the land in Marin County is privately owned.
Right, there you go.
Wow.
I mean,
That's amazing. No wonder the prices are so high. Tell you what, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got some interesting emails for our guests. I can't say that. Our co-hosts. We don't have guests today. We have co-hosts. All right. Now next week. Actually, let's just go into our trivia contest. Okay. So the question is, what comes next? Right?
do I need a pen again?
Yes, you do. Okay, everyone, get out your pens and paper because we got to go. Here's the numbers. Ready? 1, -1, 2, 0, 3, and then X. All right? The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Call 888-912-1190 to answer this question. You gotta give me what number X is. Start off with 1, -1, 2, 0, 3, and then X. All right? Stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing, and we will be right back.
We're going to Eastmail time. Give Kathryn hers first. Go back and forth.
Can you believe I'm still waiting? Oh, I'm so frustrated. Well, I'm only so frustrated because when you're dealing with governments, you can only get so frustrated, right? So our big deal, for some reason, some lady at the SFPUC is holding up millions, plural, millions. I mean, this is probably a $50 million project. And she's holding it up because she doesn't understand about title, insurance, and easements. And
What?
yeah. It's
Oh,
like,
God.
well, how do we know that when the developer records, how do they haven't done final math yet? How do we know they're not just going to start building houses? I mean, just like, what? And what do you care? You're the seller. Get out. You're selling the property. Get out. It's like, and then you worry about your easement. So why don't you make that as part of the deal to begin with? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So
What kind of
the attorney,
development is it?
say it.
What kind of development?
Building houses in probably the nicest area in Mountain View. I mean, it's like 10 blocks from Google.
Yes.
Yeah. So the attorney for the developer is, I'm going to start soon, and it's like, relaxed. And we were trying to keep him off the wall because if he does that, then it's going to slow things down. Because then they'll go, okay, well, now we need to do, we got to stop it. So, it's holding things up. So we were supposed to close this week. Okay. It's pushed off. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do this.
Okay. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Edward Brown here, Mark Hunt there, Kathryn Harris over there. Okay. When we cut to the second commercial break, we asked this trivia question about what comes next. Here's the numbers: 1, -1, 2, 0, 3, and then X. What's X?
1.
That is correct.
Ah,
Why
good.
is that?
Because you're subtracting 2.
And then adding 3.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Yeah, that's right.
Hold on,
Okay,
hang on,
yeah,
I'm
we're
doing that.
expecting, okay. All right, now before we get into email, next week we're going to have another special trivia contest. The winner's going to receive 2 passes for the Napa History River Tour. So you get to join the Napa River History Tour on a beautiful 2-hour kayak tour as they discover wildlife and explore Napa's most revealing and provocative secrets. Perfect for all fitness levels and experience. Include the kayaks, life jackets, and paddles. All you need to do is show up and enjoy. Call 707-227-7364 or go to NapaRiverHistoryTour.com. So that'll be next week. We're going to have a special contest. So now we get into email time. Mark says here, since the loans you seem to provide are conservative, how come they still carry an interest rate above 8%?
I like the use of that word seem.
Yeah.
You claim to be conservative, yet who would pay 10% for that
Or
money?
8%.
Mr. Smithers? Well, they are conservative from the viewpoint of the lender, not necessarily the borrower. The borrower always wants more, and they want to pay less, right? They want to get as close to 100% financing as possible because a lot of people out there playing the real estate investment game, unfortunately, many of them who call us would have a tough time rubbing 2 nickels together. And so a lot of people are out there thinking that hard money and private money is 100% financing, it's high-risk financing. Nothing could be further from the truth. Private money, also called hard money, simply exists as an alternative to bank financing. And it's not quite as regulated, and since it tends to be a localized phenomenon, like for example at Pacific Private Money, we lend locally. So when people call us up here in Northern California and give us a loan scenario, they say, well, here's the story. We listen to the story because actually we care about the story. Now, what we don't do is we don't hear a story and then they say, hey, I've got this great opportunity to buy this house. It's going to be worth twice as much after I fix it up. Will you lend me all the money? We just, that's not what we do. Now, there are ways you can do 100% other people's money real estate investing. They call that OPM. You probably heard the term OPM means other people's money. You absolutely can do real estate investing with 100% OPM, but it's hard to get that in the form of a loan. Usually when you get 100% OPM, you're out meeting people in joint venturing, you're getting equity partners, you're finding people who have money and want to invest in real estate. But those of us in the private money and hard money lending business, we generally are fairly conservative in the percentage of the value or purchase price that we're willing to lend. And right now in the Bay Area, that number, that maximum loan to value number for most of us in the industry is 70%, which is more conservative than the banks. So, because if you call your mortgage broker up and you want to buy a house, and they generally expect that the lowest loan to value request you're going to make is 80%, and in fact you may even ask for a 90 or 95 or 97%, FHA or VA or some other type of quasi-governmental supported loan amount where you only have to come up with a token for a down payment. So that's not the industry we serve in the private lending community. We serve the community that has either significant capital to put into the transaction, or they have partnered up with someone who has significant capital to contribute to the transaction. So typical real estate transaction that we do at Pacific Private Money, day in, day out, week in and week out, is a San Francisco purchase at somewhere between 750 and $1.5 million, and they are coming in with 30% down, and we're offering a 70% loan to purchase price, and they will buy that property. They'll have additional capital beyond that 30% down, generally, to improve that property, because if they're buying it for $1.5 million, they really hope to turn around and sell it for $2.5 to $3 million. It's a very, very hot San Francisco resale market. So that actually plays out throughout the Bay Area. It's just that we actually have been blessed with a number of great loan applications recently at Pacific Private Money, where we're seeing a lot of Marin fix and flips and San Francisco fix and flips and Peninsula and San Jose and other areas where the market is hot, hot, hot. So we are conservative because we are not going to take all the risks. We are going to vet your experience and your ability to actually successfully perform that transaction that you're bringing to us. We don't like to put money out there and then foreclose on a property. We put money out there because our investors love that 8% and sometimes more yield that they get on their money by investing in real estate secured notes. We create real estate secured notes for our investor clients who earn 8% or more. That's really the business we're in first. We're really in the business of creating high yield investments for our investor clients. We just happen to do that through a product known as a real estate secured mortgage. And there's demand for that because the banks have not been lending quite the way they used to be ever since the mortgage meltdown and the Dodd-Frank regulations. And the fact that a lot of people are self-employed, or they have a foreclosure or a short sale, or they can't document their income. There's dozens and dozens of reasons why a borrower can't get bank financing. So while they may be, in the eyes of the bank, a credit risk, in the eyes of a private money lender, they're not a credit risk, because if they can demonstrate the ability to execute the strategy for the loan, if they demonstrate that they can repay it. We just don't have the same standards that the banks do. We look at that as a very, very good investment of our investor capital.
And for more
information, you want to know how you can borrow money privately, or if you want to know how you can become an investor and earn 8% or more on your savings and retirement accounts, give us a call at Pacific Private Money. We're located in Marin County in the city of Novato, downtown Novato, at 415-883-2150, 415-883-2150, and be sure to visit our website, which is, guess what? PacificPrivateMoney.com.
And how is your fund doing right now? What's the yield?
We're still in the low 8% range. We're right about 8.14. We got a number of new investors in this past month, so we're growing slowly and steady, and that's without doing a tremendous amount of promotion. We've been running, just for the month of April, a little 30-second snippet on this radio station, AM 910. That's been making the phone ring and the emails ping. But other than that, it's been pretty much more attraction rather than promotion. Has brought in a lot of word of mouth is feeding the growth of the Pacific Private Money Fund.
Okay.
Now yielding 8.14%.
Very good. And your compounded yield is about 8.5, isn't it?
It's close to it. Yeah, it depends on how long you have it in there. But year-to-date compounding is about 8.3 right now. But if you've been in for over a year, it's closer to 8.4. But again, past performance is no promise of future results. But based on our continued demand for private loans and the fact that we don't see the interest rates that we charge going down from the 9 to 10% that we're getting regularly from clients for these short-term loans, we're pretty confident that we're going to continue to provide that low 8% yield.
Well, there is a preferred
I love how
return.
you said low.
Well, yeah, really. Well, there's a preferred return too that gives the clients 7%, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and they've been earning more than that because there's been profit above and beyond the preferred return and the manager fee. So again, all of this stuff, if you have never heard of, or if you're not familiar with how a mortgage pool fund works, give us a call. We also do individual note investing with certain high net worth individuals who have experience in note investing. Otherwise, if you're inexperienced, we tend to prefer that you strongly consider going into our mortgage pool funds. We've got 2 investment products for our Bay Area clients. So again, give us a call, 415-883-2150, or visit pacificprivatemoney.com.
Great. And Kathryn, I got an email here for you. It says, does your firm consult with clients when they're presented with a business opportunity? This person wants to find an independent opinion.
So I'm a CPA. I cannot guarantee a 8% return on your investment, but what I can often provide is an opinion or a safeguard so that you do not lose any principal. Our firm does provide some consulting. We oftentimes with our clients, you have to have a history. You oftentimes can't make a decision or provide an opinion when you don't have a history. So it's always great to have a CPA or an enrolled agent, somebody on your side when it comes to your taxes. But our firm does work with our clients when they are provided an opportunity to invest.
So you look at the financial statements.
Yes, exactly. Well, we almost would look at it as if we were going to do it ourselves, and look. You do have to look at holistically as where you are in your life. What is your financial position looking like? Can you risk losing all of your money in it? What level of risk are you comfortable with? And then exactly looking at, if you're looking at investing in a business, if they have audited financial statements, let's take a look at those audited financial statements. We actually did work with one of our clients who was a business who was approached to be acquired, and they wanted to obviously do a stock for stock acquisition, and the value of the acquiring company had very little cash, but there was potential. There was potential. So you can't. Oftentimes, individuals don't have the capability of reading a financial statement and really comprehending beyond, especially that where you stand. You're initially you're taken aback. Why would I want to get a stock for stock where there's very little cash in that business? Where if you sit down with them, do your due diligence. A lot about this is doing your due diligence to come to the conclusion whether you want to invest with or make that investment.
Do you charge like on an hourly basis or something like that?
Generally, we would charge on an hourly basis, and it really comes down to what is the investment and the amount of time that's going to be involved in determining if it's a good investment for you.
Okay, now that's obviously one service that Prod provides. You also do tax returns.
Yes.
What other services?
We're a full-service accounting firm. We do tax returns for the whole gamut, for businesses, for nonprofits. We assist with retirement plans and individuals, estates, the whole gamut. We also provide bookkeeping services and attest services. That's where an audit, that's the test service, where if you are a business who is going to go out and get a loan to provide necessary capital, the bank oftentimes will require an audited financial statement, so we can provide that service for you.
Yeah, there aren't too many CPAs that'll do those anymore. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, yeah. That's my strength, and I enjoy it. That's where you get more face time with clients, and it's more of the business relationship and the consulting. But there's very much significant consulting in taxes as well. And in your taxes, I say it too often, or maybe not often enough. It's worth your while to do your due diligence. Worth your while to spend a little bit of cash to meet with your financial advisor, meet with your estate attorney, meet with your tax people, to see if the products that are being offered to you are appropriate for where you are in your life and your risk level, etc. Guys, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, I referred a few clients to you, and so far every one of them come back and said, thank you very much. I've enjoyed meeting with Kathryn or people in your firm if it wasn't your specialty, and they've been happy so far.
Yeah,
Nice.
I call ourselves the Goldilocks. There's about 15 of us, so there's not just one person you have to deal with. If I'm not there, and you have a simple question, there's usually a couple other people who can help assist in answering that question immediately. But we're not too big where we don't feel like we give customer service and have that personal relationship.
So Kathryn Harris of CPA of Prod. How do people get a hold of you? Where are you located?
We're in Larkspur. I can be reached at 415-461-8500, and please call with any of your tax or investment opportunity needs. We can evaluate them for you.
You're in Larkspur, but you're not in that honeymoon cottage that you mentioned.
Just down the street.
Just down the street,
Yeah,
okay.
We're in Larkspur Landing.
All right. Okay, we're going to cut to our third and final commercial break trivia question. The theme is what comes next. Here are the numbers 3.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, hold on, get your pen and paper. Ready? Okay.
All right.
3, 1, 2, 0, 1, -1, X. All right, let me repeat that. 3, 1, 2, 0, 1, -1, X. What is X? The first 3 callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Call 888-912-1190 to answer that question. Stay with us. The best of investing. We'll be right back. That's a long. Okay. Wanted to ask you what deal of the week if you got anything special.
Sure.
I gotta get over the stupid.
I'm telling you, another 2 weeks.
Never
That's
had
how
anything
they've been.
before.
Something will stay. The coffee, that's just how it went. Everyone I've worked with, or my clients, it's just the cough will linger. Most of it will go away, or it's the runny nose.
The crud.
I did take Delson or something. Even someone had told us to take it, for me to take it, and it definitely helped for less cough. But the problem is that I need to kind of cough it off.
Yes. Don't stop the cough.
Figure out how much time we have left. Lovey.
So you guys renting a place while demolitions occur?
How's that going?
It's going a little bit, little by little.
Oh, what did you decide on? Decide on Mahogany?
Yeah, we decided not to pursue it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she okay with that?
No, but
Oh.
she agreed that it was the best choice.
Okay.
She agreed it was best not to pursue it, but she's not okay with it.
If that works.
Yeah.
Is that to that other person? Yeah, this one's got 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Okay.
So you said we're the Goldilocks. I'm thinking, what's your company full of young, blonde, attractive women?
Bombshells.
That's right.
They get distracted by our beauty when you walk in. Like,
Audit me, please.
yes, whatever, yes.
So I think I told Mark one time I had this client, she was a model, and I was smitten.
You actually did get distracted by people who are
Yeah.
just very attractive. You just are just like,
Yeah, I know. How much did you spend on office supplies? And it was funny because when she came in to pick for her return, I told my young associate, he was like part-time, I said, listen, when she comes in, I don't know when she's coming. When she's coming, you gotta make sure you're working here this day, right? She came in on day he wasn't there, and she came in this outfit. So you missed it. The fact that we didn't have phones to take pictures. Too bad.
So you go like this and do a little under the skirt.
Where do you come up with this stuff? He's usually a very nice man.
really?
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
He's looking for an 18-year-old assistant. I want to see if he's blonde. So basically, don't bring a brunette if I find a brunette that's 18.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you know what I'm supposed to send your way.
Here we go. Well, welcome back to the Best of Investing. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, because I'll be here next week, and it'll be the first time for the week. Mark Hunt and Kathryn Harris are in the studio here. Here's our third final trivia question. Again, the theme is what comes next. Here are the numbers 3, 1, 2, 0, 1, -1, hike. No, what X? What's X?
0.
0, that is correct. Subtract.
I like these number games. I actually am somewhat successful.
Well, it's not fair. You're a CPA, so that you have an advantage over the rest of us. Okay, Mark, I want to ask you, you got any special deals of the week you want to talk about?
Well, I don't personally work on as many loans as I used to because I've got a great staff at Pacific Private Money, and they're working hard on the bulk of our deal flow. We're doing about 25 transactions per month now, which is that's pretty steady, and that's actually great volume. It's enough where we can give the kind of service that we need to, the time to learn about each loan, and fund it appropriately, and do the due diligence we need to do, so that we're putting our investors in deals that we've properly vetted. It's generally difficult to scale up in this business to where you're doing 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 transactions, just because unless you have an army, a small army of people, and then you've got a loan committee, and then by the time you get to that size, then you actually have to become more bank-like almost by definition. So there's really a kind of a sweet spot, in my opinion, somewhere between 20 to 30 transactions per month, I think, is from a growth and scale standpoint. You can be very, you can have a very profitable and very fun operation with a great little company culture at our office in Nevada. It's a lot of fun. But that being said, I actually am working on a loan this week. I got a call on a deal that's actually, now it's the third time this has come back, because this has been a property that has been in a little bit of trouble in Tiburon. It was purchased by an investment group a couple of years back with the idea to do an extensive remodel and then flip it, and it's got nice bay views. And they did actually a pretty darn good job. I personally toured this property recently. The sponsors, the people who came to me and want to borrow money to buy this house, would be buying it from the private lender, who happens to be out of Southern California, who had to foreclose on this property because I guess the group that originally bought it and did the remodel didn't really know. First, they were out of town. They didn't really understand the market. They did a few things probably not correct for that market. Ended up running out of money, and the lender started to foreclose, and then they the borrowers filed a lawsuit and made certain claims, so there was all kinds of stuff going on, legal stuff with the property. So that has now all been resolved. The owner of the property got all the cases thrown out and has clean title, the owner of the property being a hard money lender from Southern California. And there's a local group that is looking to buy it, and they have been able to negotiate actually a very, very good price. Spoke with a local listing agent who believes he's going to be able to get the listing from this group who's buying it, and he's pretty sure he believes that he is going to easily get $2 million for this property. But the group that came to me for the loan is buying the property for about $1.5 million, and there's less than $100,000 of changes and adjustments and repairs that need to be made, so that when staged, this property will probably sell very, very quickly. And so
for $2 million.
For $2 million.
Okay.
So we're going to make them a loan equal to 70% of their purchase price, $1.5 million, even though based on even though based on their the local comps and the broker opinions of value saying the property should be worth at minimum $1.8 million to $1.85 million, but we think in this hot market we'll probably get $2 million thanks to they hope to have a bidding war on the project. So that's right around, let's just say 60% loan to market value, but actually 70% loan to purchase price is what the numbers work out to roughly. And we're going to get a 10.5% note rate from the borrower. We're offering 10% to our investors. They need to close quickly. Fancy that. It's usually always seems to be the case. They were able to negotiate a lower than market price because they said we'll close in 10 days. So that's what I'm working on. That's
why they couldn't go to a bank, because the bank can't work that fast.
Right. That's exactly right. And these kids is a nice little group. And in fact, I'm going to spend the better part of Monday this coming week on the phone with some of my more well-heeled investors who can stroke a check for $1 million and see which one of them would like to earn 10% on their money for the next 4 to 6 months while this project is acquired, repaired, put back on the market, and
I think you'd have no problem getting that.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't anticipate a problem at all.
I think you'll be done by 10 o'clock Monday morning.
Yeah, really.
Our list of lenders who are lender clients who are liquid and looking, and we have an active sheet on our wall at the office that has the names of people who virtually will call on a daily /
Yeah.
And this happened. I sold some real estate. I'm now sitting on $1 million, or even if it's 500,000 or even 100,000. People will call and say, "Hey, I've got something. I'm looking for something. What do you have?"
Yeah.
They show it to me first, and so it's a very interesting dynamic at our office.
How many points did you charge?
This one we're gonna get 2.5.
Not bad, my friend.
I might have been a little bit more aggressive. Oftentimes I need to be, but they had gotten a quote from a Southern California company that actually had quoted them 12% 3 points. Now, Southern California hard money is actually more expensive than Northern California hard money. A lot of people don't realize that.
Why is that? Do you know?
It just is. I think there's more money chasing these note investments here in the Bay Area. I think when you look at all the tech money here, the incredible supply of ready capital looking for money, it's driven yields down 1 to 2 percentage points down from what the investors who do this in Southern California generally expect to see.
Well, very interesting. So again, if people are interested in investing with you,
sure, PacificPrivateMoney.com. That's PacificPrivateMoney.com, or just call, leave your name and number, and I'll give you a buzz next week. That's 415-883-2150.
any last closing comments from Kathryn?
I have some more articles, but I'm not sure how much time we have. Nah?
Only less than a minute.
Oh, that's not enough.
That's not
No,
enough.
just
We have to save next time.
Any more good deductions that we missed?
But again, moral of the story though is you never try it. At least bring it up to your CPA. Oftentimes people just make the question, or I'm not sure, I'm embarrassed about whether it can or cannot, and they just say no. You are never worse off than at least asking. You will either have a yes or a no. You can't be worse off when you ask.
But based on the stories you told, Edward, it sounds like you can make a case for a business reason.
Well, in one case, the Mink said no. The Mink says no, but your chest is a yes. You never know which way it's going to go.
I mean, clarinet lessons, man. You get a report from the doctor. Hey, I need to play the clarinet. What about the harmonica? That's probably cheaper. Okay, thoughts for the day here. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack of will. Vince Lombardi said that. We all know him.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Vince also said, individual commitment to a group effort, that is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and a civilization work. Very wise man.
Yes, he was.
Tune in next week to The Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away 9 more free vacations for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, for wishing you the best of investing. So long.
Go worry.